Hi there. So we're going to talk some more about intermittent fasting, because now that you've heard over the last month, I've been doing some videos on who should do it and why they do it and how it works for weight loss and all the other benefits and why people continue to do it as a lifestyle. Well, now I'm going to get into a little bit of the how-tos of intermittent fasting. There's many different ways to do it, and you basically have two categories. There's timed fast and then there's caloric fast. A timed fast is when you have a long enough period of time with no food, so your blood sugar levels down, insulin goes down, that's signal to the brain, we need fuel, so it's going to start breaking down body fat. And so generally you want to get that going, you need about 12 hours with no food. But then, so often people will start with like a 16-hour fast as an example. So the easiest thing is no breakfast. And yes, I said it out loud, the cardinal rule is supposed to be, eat breakfast. But when you're doing fasting, you're activating this fat burn, so you don't need to have breakfast. If you're kind of not really doing fasting and skipping breakfast but having a muffin at 10, that's not a good thing. So the idea is have a period of time with no breakfast, but then your first meal, and this is what I often say to people and say, "What, isn't breakfast the most important meal of the day?" Well, that meal, when you break your fast, is the most important meal of the day. But it doesn't need to be in the morning. But you just want that first meal to be, it's healthy in terms of having some proteins and some healthy, be it vegetables, fruit, which are sources of healthy carbohydrates, maybe a bit of fat. So that first meal should be a good meal. It's not like a super carb heavy, spike your blood sugar level type of meal. So that's my little thing on breakfast. So in terms of time fast, so there's 16 hours of fasting. Then you could eat like lunch, snack, dinner, or just lunch, dinner. You eat in an 8-hour window. The other method is to extend the fast. So, you probably wouldn't start with this right away. You start with 16 hours, and you can go to a 20-hour fast. People that do that means basically their first meal might be more mid-afternoon. Obviously, it depends on lifestyle if you can work into that. Or it could be a snack, and then you have dinner. And then there's a 24-hour fast, which you do from dinner to dinner. Generally, people won't do 24-hour fast like on an ongoing basis. Might be like a few times a week, depending on what their goals are. The goals are in terms of, if it's for weight loss or other therapeutic reasons. But those are kind of how it goes. So 16 hours, 20, 24, and you can get into longer ones, but you don't want to start with those. So that's a timed fast. And then the other type of fast is caloric. And that's basically where you shrink your calories down to such a low level on a day. Generally, it's going to be 500 or 600 calories. Because again, you're having food, but it's not enough that your brain is going to start using more glucose for fuel. The brain is still going to think we don't have enough fuel, and therefore it's going to start breaking down fat. So that's another way of doing it. So you could have a very late lunch, late dinner, and then just shrink or just do a breakfast and a dinner, but shrink the amount of food down to hit that target. Again, that type of thing you probably only do a couple of times a week. Now, in terms of starting out, obviously people should be doing this. You want to generally be pretty healthy. Pregnant people that are women that are breastfeeding should not do it. If you have blood sugar levels, it's very effective, but if you have issues with your blood sugar levels, it is very effective, but at the same time, particularly if you're on medication, you may need to get supervised because you have to manage your medication appropriately. And sometimes too, some people, if you're taking medications, then you have to take them with food. Well then, particularly medications that are quite sensitive to that, you need to check with your doctor first to see if you can shift the timing or whatever the case is. But otherwise, that's basically how one does the fasting. And the biggest thing is staying hydrated, drinking lots of water throughout the time. I can even drink some, nice vegetable broth, chicken broth, and just stay hydrated. And you'll find it's actually not nearly as hard as what you'd expect. Now, in my case, with my program I do, it is more intensive, and we have 3 phases to put people through. First phase where we're priming up the fat burning system, and then we go into a losing phase where we're doing a combination of time fast and caloric fast, so it's kind of put together. and then a stabilizing phase where we kind of come out of that, stabilize, and then people are set up for maintenance. So it's kind of putting them through a bit of a process, but it is also supervised. So, but just as a starting point, I mean, that's basically how it is. And whether you're eating a Mediterranean diet, a paleo diet, a keto diet, you're vegetarian, like any kind of way you're eating, you can still do the fasting. So it's awesome, right? Anyway, so hopefully that gives you some tips. And good luck if you try it. And if you have any questions, you want to learn more about what I do, then you can visit my website, which is just my name, Dr. Cher Beauvais, or I'll go on Facebook or my Instagram account and find me. And you can request I always offer complimentary consultations on using Zoom, just to see if this is even, depending on what your goals are and your history, if this is a good strategy for you or not. Okay, so take care, and you'll see me again. Bye.